Okay. Okay. So welcome all of you. This is the first session of your mentor, and some of you know me, some of you don't. So I'm the face behind this page. So I'm Shaturupa, and I am an urban planner geographer. So when I started this page, like some of you know that I just got the admission in PhD, and my classes will start very shortly. And when I was preparing, I mean, for the kind of like for the past few months, I was preparing for this PhD admission, and also, like the proposal I was writing on them. So what I faced was kind of some hurdles that I faced, and I was also kind of struggling because I was continuously being anxious where I will get or where I will not. And that is, I guess, the common thing when you try for something from your all your heart. So I was into that phase, and lucky for me that I got some of my friends and some of my professors, also some of my seniors were there, who kind of motivated me, who also guided me. But I think that is not the case for all, you know. So, uh, excuse me, can you please mute yourself? I will ask you to ask the question and answer session at the end. Okay. So, Sazia, please mute. So now, as I was saying, so before I start this, I also want to give a very quick introduction of myself. So I have done two masters, one in geography and one in urban planning. So one is from JNU and the other is from CEPT University. And currently, I am working on this Your Mentor thing. And I'm also sorry that I talked about this live session, I guess, maybe last month, I mean. But then I got all caught up with some other things because I had this prior commitment with Social Political Research Foundation. So I'm working as a contributing author there. And I was kind of working for that. So I got kind of caught up to adjust. And also, that the PhD classes will start. So the registration thing, and there are also other formalities that we need to do. So all those things kind of got me busy, and that is why this live session is kind of late. So I really am sorry for that. Anyway, so now I understand that some of you are doing PhD, some of you want to go for PhD right now, or some of you want to go for PhD maybe some years later. So this is the session where I will be addressing all the common questions that I have been receiving over LinkedIn, Instagram, over my personal message, WhatsApp, Facebook, everywhere. Okay, so one thing I get very commonly, like some people actually ask me, like, ma'am, should I go for PhD, or do you think PhD is the right option for me? So I just to tell you all one thing, that PhD, PhD is something that you are doing a doctorate. So it is considered as the highest form, not the highest. I mean, we have the postdoc after that, but we can say that one of the highest form of education. So for that, you will need to have certain passion in yourself and also certain interest in doing that work. So before we do the PhD, I think most of you have kind of a niche area in your mind. Like for me, it was urban studies. So I knew that I will be doing in this urban studies field. And also, I wanted to do something for the marginalized communities. That has always been one of my niche area. So that is what I wanted to do, and I thought that okay, I will go for this PhD thing. So don't do a PhD. Like I posted uh, I guess last month I posted something in Instagram. Like there are some common misconceptions regarding PhD, and you can check that in my page. So some people do PhD when they think that okay, chalo आपको life में कुछ नहीं है, चलो आप PhD करते हैं. But don't do that. I mean, I have seen many people who deregister themselves from PhD, because PhD is a long term thing. You have to do that thing for 5 or 6 years of your life. You have to particularly devote yourself. So you just cannot do it because you have some time or you do not have anything other to do. So don't do that. And secondly, some people think that PhD में आके हमें JRF मिलेगा, या तो we will get scholarship and then life chill है. It's not like that, because you have to continuously study, and for this proposal building also, no, you have to continuously study, you have to write a lot. So unless and until you have that kind of devotion, that kind of dedication in yourself, do not go for PhD. Okay, so go for PhD when you have certain passion. You feel that okay, there is this area where I want to work, and I will be able to, like, devote myself, my time in that area for a particular, for a long period. Okay, only then go for that. Now, secondly, also for those who want to join PhD right away. So before I start talking about how to write a proposal, I want you guys to take this thing very seriously, because you know that IITs and some of you will also apply in IIMs. So unlike regular universities, they do this PhD admission thing twice a year. So the forms will start coming out in September, and that gives you roughly 2 months, even less than that actually, in your hand. So you have to take this thing very seriously. And for those who want to do this PhD maybe after some years, so take some time and think whether you are actually like you actually want to do PhD, or it is something that you just think, okay, chalo, now I have nothing to do in my career and then I can do PhD. So don't do that. Okay. Okay, now the another part I really wanted to cover, like broadly, that was PhD, say the like PhD proposal building. Okay, so proposal is, what is proposal? Proposal is something that the place that you are applying to, and the interviewers there, the professors there, they want to see like whether you have that kind of knowledge in yourself, or you have that capability that you can frame a topic, or you can frame a topic on basis of the literature. Okay, so that is what they want to see. Now in proposal, we have that kind of say, just 1 second. So in proposal, you have this kind of literature review, introduction, and I have been getting many questions regarding how to write a proposal and how to build a proposal. So before starting a proposal, just take some time and think what you actually want to work on. Okay, like as I said, that my niche area was urban studies. Now in urban studies, we have housing, we have transportation, we have infrastructure. So all these so all these particular aspects, they also have kind of sub verticals around inside them. So you have to be very much focused about what you want to work on, and how you will reach there. You have to read a lot. Okay, you have to read a lot. You have to take it from your experience, like what is the exact field that you want to work on. Now, some of you, like I am talking a lot about urban studies because that is my niche area. Some of you might be from philosophy, some of you might be from sociology. So the same thing works for all of you. Okay. Now, secondly, once you are decided, ki chalo, now this is the topic I want to work on. Now, not the topic, but you have some of the parameters on your mind. Ki chalo, like for example, you want to work on the, say, disaster affected communities. Okay, so you want to work on these disaster affected communities, say of Sikkim. Okay, so now what you actually want to look into that, because when the communities are disaster affected, they have certain like there are all the aspects related to them. There is this socioeconomic parameter, there is this climatic parameter, there is this say environmental parameter. So all out of all these parameters, which one you actually want to focus on? So first decide that, then start on writing. Now there is this important like method of literature review that actually helped me a lot. you know so once you start doing this literature review, you have to first sort all the readings, or say books, journal articles, everything you got. So work on that first. Build on a particular literature base and make a folder where you will be having all those journals, articles, all those books, and then start writing on like reading those. And when you read, always try to highlight the key points from them from there. Okay, so that can actually help in your proposal building. And when you start writing the proposal, there will be many times when you will face that, चलो यार ये तो नहीं हो रहा है, ये तो नहीं बन रहा है. But don't just stop there. Okay, just just relax for a bit. You can just maybe switch your attention to some movie, or maybe you can talk to the family members, and then you again go back to your proposal writing, because that is what you need to do, right? So as I say, you have to very much focus on the literature part. And once you build the proposal, you also have to focus on the research methodology, research objectives, and research questions. Also, research possible research outcomes. That is something that some of the universities are now looking for. Now, talking about this proposal, I also want to highlight another point that most of you think proposal is a very broad thing. And this is also something that is written in the PhD information brochure, that proposal is something ki chalo ye to bahut broadly likh dena hai. You just have to give a very basic idea of what you want to do. But trust me, it is not. Honestly, I have been there, and I know that that does not help in your selection. Rather, you have to be very much particular about what are your research questions, what are your objectives, what is the methodology, and also what are the possible outcomes. What is the need of your research? What is the rationale? You cannot just do a research because you want to do that. There must be some social relevance. There must be some maybe some political relevance, or it is natural sciences. There may be some that type of relevance there, so that also you have to be very much particular about. And when you start applying to the universities, you will see that all the universities, they have different framework of proposal submission. So in some universities, they will ask for a simple proposal ki chalo bhai ye proposal de do, maybe the word limit is 1000 or 1200. Some will actually ask you to build the proposal under some heads, and those heads will be given by the university itself. Now you have to fit your proposal under those heads. Now listen to this very carefully. Once your proposal is structured on your own, then you can be able to fit there. In case your proposal is very big, you will not be able to fit in that framework. Okay. So some of you know that I was selected in IIT Bombay, and I actually was selected in all the three departments I applied for. So I am very thankful that I got selected. But when I was applying, so all these departments, they had different parameters for selection, and when I was submitting my proposal there, I did not submit the same proposal. That is a misconception. Do not submit the same proposal to all of them, so that does not show you as a good researcher. When you are submitting to urban studies, so you have to work on something according to their area. No, you cannot just talk about some theoretical dimension there. You cannot just say, I will contribute to some theoretical dimension. That is a part of PhD, but that is not the entire thing. Because in planning, we work more on the interventions, on the practical solutions. So that also have to include in your proposal, right? So that is one thing. Now, secondly, also try to incline or align your research interest with the professors of theirs. So once you start writing a proposal, or once you start submitting those, you always have to look into the area, like the focus areas of the professor. Okay, so you have to browse through the university website a lot. You have to look into the papers of the professors. So try to align with that. Okay, now another thing, another thing I want to tell you guys, this is the literature review part, or the research, the focus of the proposal part. Also, the methodology part, that is also very critical. Now, when I was applying to IIT Bombay, the humanities department, actually, they asked for a very particular methodology, and I was not prepared for that. So I had to study, within that short time, I had to study a lot. Like earlier, I actually studied some basic research methodology books, but some parts were not clear for me. So within that short time, I had to cover up everything and then finish the entire proposal. So it was very hectic. So if you want to avoid that, I would really suggest you guys start reading the research methodology book. Okay, so I will just type some common names, just two names here. Those are very common, and other name actually I do not remember now. It's some foreign author. I will definitely post it in my page. Okay, so these 2-3 books actually helped me a lot, and you can actually go through them. Now, another thing is that for the proposal, please specify the need of your research. And in some cases, like I guess in IIT Madras, they will ask you to align your research with their curriculum. So also you have to kind of look into that, like how you can fit into their research dynamics, or what is the curriculum there, what are the focus areas of the professors. So also try to think with that. Now, the third part, yeah, upcoming entrances, that also I wanted to focus on. So as I mentioned in the starting of my session, that the PhD applications will start from September. Like IIT Bombay will start in September, mid-September. IIT Delhi will also be around that. So IITs will start from September. Some will be from October. All the IIMs will be from October, and everything will be finished by December. So these 2-3 months will be very hectic. So what you should do is you should actually start working on the proposal now. Okay, so try to finish the proposal by August end, so you have enough time to go through it and revise it. Okay, and while you write the proposal, please do not leave the habit of reading, because reading is something that actually helps you defend your proposal in the interview. Right now, also I wanted to talk to you guys about actually this is kind of also like kind of bit impromptu maybe. So I actually thought about something, but nothing is coming. That point is not coming to my mind right now. I guess you can actually, if you have any question, you can ask me now. You can unmute yourself, and then I will tell you guys in case nothing comes to my mind. Yeah.
Ma'am, can you please specify the name of the books?
Yeah. As I told that one book is by Kothari, R.S. Kothari, Research Methodology, and another book is a very common book that is by I am so sorry, I do not remember some Ranjit Kumar, Research Methodology. Those are two Indian authors, and there is one foreign author whose name I really do not recall. So I will just post it in my Insta page by tonight. Okay, so you can just check it there. I'm really sorry, but Kothari's book
Okay,
is
ma'am.
actually very good. Yeah.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah. Hi.
Heartiest congratulations, first of all, for your selection in IIT Bombay.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I want to ask that, first of all, when we are doing a research proposal or going for PhD, we have to select the broad field of interest on which we are interested to work upon, right?
Yeah.
So I have little confusion, like you say, urban is quite interested field for me.
Yeah.
But within urban, there are many things. I mean, there are broad theme, sub theme. So how to be go through that phase? I mean, I am facing little difficulties into this. I mean, I have lots of areas of interest, but can't figure it out. So what is your experience into that particular thing? It will be helpful for us.
Yeah. So you can do one thing first, as I mentioned, that you can just keep reading on that. Also, when you are not reading, just don't continuously read like a robot, that you are finishing maybe 5-6 articles within 1 hour. Don't do that. Just read something and think a bit. You have to think. Such like thinking is also a part of the PhD process. So you have to think in which area you can be devoted for the next 5 to 6 years. Focus on that. And if there are two areas like housing and transport, for example, so again you have to focus on which area of household and which area of housing and which area of transport. Definitely both the areas won't sync. So you have to think like that. You have to filter on, you have to funnel it down. Then you have to think like which area I can be focusing on for the next 5 to 6 years. And I think you will get the question, because the same thing happened with me. And I actually got the answer like this, because I started writing it, like I started just writing on some bullet points, like these are the main areas. And in what area I can actually get devoted for the next 5 years, that is the question. That is your focus area.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, my name is Madhushrulata. Okay, so my question is, could you tell me like what are the plus point you have or had that helped you to crack those interview of 3 department? Like what made your research proposal different from others? Because I was also there in IIT Bombay like this year. I also given the interview, so I couldn't make it. So I want to know about. I mean, know from you like what helped you, like you think, like made different from others, like research proposal.
Okay. So Madhushmita, I really like I can just say you best of luck for next time, and I think you will definitely make it. So to
Thank
answer
you.
your question, I think what is important, first research proposal, and secondly, do not think that I got in all the places. You know, like I applied in many places and I got rejected in many places. I got accepted in many places. I just posted about some like the one place where I wanted to go. So the thing is that when you are writing the proposal, as I mentioned, you always
Yeah.
try to align that with the professor's interest. If you are working on housing and then there is no professor
Okay.
working on housing, definitely they will not select you. You know, no offense, they will
Okay.
not select you. So try to focus on that. And secondly, for the interview part, what really helped me is that I was quite nervous once the interview date started coming in, and there were times when I had 3 to 4 interviews in a single day. Like it was very like it was kind of very nerve wracking. So you can practice interviews, you know, with your friends. I believe you will be having some friends, family members with whom you can practice interview. You can try to defend yourself in front of them. And I also want to tell you that once you write the proposal, do not think that the proposal is done, so it is over. No, continuously
Okay.
try reading the like keep reading the proposal again and again and again. You will find the faults there. You know, that thing happened because when I was applying to other places, and then when I applied to IIT Delhi, sorry, Bombay,
Yeah.
so I saw that there are some faults in my proposal which might have led to my rejection in the other places. So those kind of things you also have to check. Okay, so once you start reading, and also the thing that you have to convince yourself. Okay, once, unless and until you
Okay.
are convinced with your proposal, nobody else will be convinced. So you have to first convince yourself, answer all the questions that come to your mind, you know, then only you can be able to defend in the proposal, sorry, interview. So these are some points I think you can keep in mind.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. I think this will be very helpful for me.
Thank you.
Hello. I'm
Yeah.
First of all, many congratulations for the selection in the three departments. And my question is that, like suppose I'm applying in humanities and social science department. There are various faculties from various domain. Okay. So suppose I want to work on social issues or climate change. Okay. So there are one faculties who are working in this field. Okay. I want to work under him. Okay, or her. So is it good to mail him before the application or contact him with a proposal or consult with him? Is it helpful before the selection? What is your view on that?
Okay. So I think, yeah, actually that is not a bad option, but I think you should actually do it long before you want to apply, because in case your interview or say the application is already going on, you cannot just mail them. Okay, it will seem that you just came up with that idea now. They want to see that you are very dedicated. So it might be helpful that you start talking to that person, maybe say if the application, if you're applying in September, so maybe you can actually start talking since May or June. And I personally didn't do that. So I have heard many people doing that. You can do that, but you have to keep some gap. Like you cannot just start mailing that person in September only. So you have to do it like some months before. And in IIT Bombay, particularly in the policy studies department, I saw that they after this interview shortlist came, so they were like we were asked personally to talk to the professor. So that was kind of it was already told from IIT Bombay, so I did that before my interview because it was told. Otherwise, I didn't do it, but that will be my suggestion if you, in case you want to do.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any question, or I will? Okay, so just before anybody else has any question? Anybody?
Hello, ma'am. Can you share your experience from interview? Some of your experience.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, they are asking what is your research area and all, but it will be helpful if you give us a view of that.
Yeah. So firstly, interviews are not same. There will be interviews, different interviews, you know, like all, even the two persons, like if they're going like, for example, if in IIT Bombay also, two people from the same interview panel, they will be having different interview expenses. You must know that. So interviews are not same, but some of the common things that you should be very much prepared about is that how your proposal will link to their, the professor's interest. and what is your research idea. Some of them might ask you, how did you went into, or how did you go into this area, or why this research area. So these are some of the common questions. And also I would like to suggest that don't just panic in the interview session, because some of the interviews I thought, because I was kind of very chill in some of the interviews, and I thought that would like get converted, but luckily they got converted. That is not, I'm talking about IIT Bombay, in some other places. So that is also the case. So interviews are not same. Just one thing that I also talked to I also told Madhusmita, that you have to practice the interview, before going for the interview. That really helps you a lot. And just stay focused and keep reading on your proposal again and again. And some of the common questions, like some will ask that what are your strengths, how will you contribute to the department. Like for in my case, I jumped from geography to urban planning. So a common question for me was like, what are the like why you went to urban planning, and how would you contribute in this field, what are the possible outcomes for your research. So these are some common questions. So I just want you to like get stick to this. And also see, there will be many impromptu questions, like I cannot tell you that what are the questions, because I also don't know. But you have to be very patient, that you will be able to somehow tackle yourself. And do not get very much disheartened if you do not answer all the questions, because it is not the case. I also couldn't answer 100% questions, but they just see that how dedicated you are, how much enthusiasm you have. That is what they want to see. So just be very clear on this thing.
Thank you.
Okay. And also I just wanted to now actually it came to my mind what I wanted to share. Like once you want to go, once you start writing this proposal, and you have this thing that you will go to the PhD, or you will be a researcher, just be very clear that you are providing some solution. Because I have seen many researchers which end up giving the problem, they just talk about the existing problem. What is the problem? Who are the bad guys there? Why this is not happening? Why that is not happening? But if that is what you want to do, you can just do it in your masters, right? In our masters also we study the, like, to talk about the existing scenario, to understand the existing scenario. We have different methods for that. We go to field study, we depend on secondary database. But that is not your job as a researcher. Your job is to understand the scenario and also to provide some solutions. So in the interview, I think they also look into that, like how much you can perceive that where a research is actually going, how it is socially relevant, or how it is contributing to the existing literature. That is also they want to see. They do not just want to look into ki chalo abhi to disaster aa gaya. For example, like as I said that the disaster affected communities in Sikkim, in case just to clear, that is not my proposal topic. It just came randomly in my mind. So you cannot just say कि ऐसे चलो disaster आ गया, यहाँ पे इतने इतने लोगों का ये हो रहा है, उतना लोगों का ये हो रहा है. That is not what they want you to do. They want you to tell कि अगर ये हो रहा है, what you can do, what you can propose, and also think about your solutions in a workable manner. You cannot just randomly say कि अच्छा चलो ये होगा, इधर ये करना पड़ेगा, इधर ये करना पड़ेगा. As a researcher, just keep one thing in your mind, that in future you are going to talk to people from that perspective. Okay, people will look at you from a superior perspective. They will think कि चलो ये तो research करके आ गए. He or she has that amount of knowledge that they will be able to provide some solution. So please, please think from that aspect. I guess that can really help. Because unless and until you can see yourself there, please do not go for research. Because as I said, that research is not just to present the problem. You have to think of some solution, or you should have that kind of interest in your mind ki chalo, I will give some solution from the existing theories, from the perceptions of mind, from the experience, from the understanding of mind. Okay, so that is also what I want to tell you guys. So any other question from anybody?
Ma'am.
Okay. Just
Ma'am.
yeah.
Ma'am, does doing MA in JNU has helped you in exploring your understanding of research methodology? Because I think they have a course on research methodology, and many universities don't have. So can you please specify?
See, definitely, I think JNU has definitely helped me a lot. But I will not undermine that people from other universities are not going into PhD, right? In that case, so it would have been the case that only JNUites are going for PhD and other universities are not doing anything. Please do not think like that. In case you are trying to get into JNU, then like all the best to you. And in case you are not from JNU, so do not get disheartened that you are from JNU. And all the things about research methodology, you can also read it from the books. As I said that I will upload it by tonight in my page. You can see that the books are mentioned there. You will be able to see, like you will be able to study from there also. So it is not a problem in case you are not from JNU. Okay, so do not please think like that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. But many universities, as I said, ma'am, I am from BHU, but there is no course on research method. That's why, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So you can just go through the books. I'm continuously saying that you can just go through the books, and you are from BHU. BHU is not bad. BHU is also one of the best universities in India. So I'm sure that you have some understanding of statistics and some understanding of field visit, because you also go for excursions and all. And apart from that, once you go through this research methodology books, it will be good to go. So please don't worry for that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
And also, there is some question from, I guess, Shayantan. Applicants who are having good research publications, do they get? See, that is also another thing. So Shayantan has asked me. Yeah, so in sometimes they have preferences. So in IIM Kozhikode, there is this additional column, like in case you have any publication or something. But see, that is completely like the base you have. Like you cannot just like restrict yourself from applying just because you do not have work experience or just because you do not have any publication. I do not personally, I do not have any journal publication, and still I applied for PhD, and I guess I got into that because I could defend myself in the interview. So they do not just look into the work experience, otherwise they wouldn't have been organizing the interviews, right? So that is definitely good if you have, but if you do not have, just don't worry that I don't have this, I don't have. Just try to look into the positive things that you have and just focus on that. Don't just in the interview, when you are sitting in the interview panel, do not feel sorry for yourself that you are less qualified than the like candidate who was prior to you. Just think that whatever you have, you can defend yourself, and you are very confident in what you have or what you know. So just be like that. Secondly, there is somebody who is asking me, I'm in the second of masters, could you suggest? I can make it. Okay, so if you are in your masters, I do not know which subject you are in. So can you please tell me that, Rohit? Social work. Okay. So you can just, in case you do not have JRF or anything, you can definitely try for that first, because that kind of becomes a very, kind of a very crucial criteria for getting into PhD. So you can first try for that. And since you are in a masters, you can also try to build some niche area in your mind, because since it is second semester only, so there is a lot to study for you also. So just try to build on some ideas on what you can do for PhD, or you can, in case you have some universities in your mind that I want to do PhD from this institution or here, so you can just maybe look into the universities and look into the research going on now, or maybe look into the professor's background. That can also help you build the area. And definitely just keep reading on, because that will help to build on your research area, and simultaneously prepare for JRF in case you do not have that, because that will be kind of very important once you start applying. So what about the article publication? Okay, so in case you have any publication, that is well and good, and in case you are trying to just do it, there is no rigid structure that publication is needed or not. In case you have it, then it is good. So in case you are thinking to publish something or get something published in any art journal, so just go for that. You can add it in your CV once you start applying, so it will be good. Okay, so thanks. Okay, so it's 5. So I have kind of 7 minutes left. So if anybody has any question, you can ask. Okay, so I do not think anybody has any question now. So I think I will just finish it here. Okay. So I will just finish it here. And thank you guys for joining me. It was really good to see all of you here. And I sincerely did not expect that you will all join here. And, like you guys have actually encouraged me a lot. When I started doing this, I thought maybe I will not be able to. But somehow, like with all of your encouragement and also all the love that you have given me. So yeah. And so where I can see, okay, the recording of the session I will be uploading in my Insta channel, or if I upload it somewhere else, I will definitely provide the link in my Insta page. So don't worry about that. And in case you have any question or anything, you can just reach out to me in my page. So my page is so this is the Insta name of my page. I actually wanted to build a LinkedIn page. I mean, some of you know that I was trying to build it for a long time, but there was some technical glitch and I could not do that. So I just stuck to this your like Insta page because I thought maybe like it is more important to reach out to you guys rather than working on my own page. So that is what I'm doing now. And so okay guys, so I'm just finishing it here. So thanks a lot to all of
Thank
you
you,
for
ma'am.
joining.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.